On August 1, 2025, Washington was rocked by a political earthquake when President Donald Trump abruptly fired Dr. Erika McEntarfer, the respected head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, just hours after the release of a disappointing jobs report that sent shockwaves through the financial and political worlds. The firing was announced in dramatic fashion on Truth Social, with Trump publicly accusing McEntarfer, without providing any evidence, of deliberately manipulating employment figures to undermine his presidency and damage his administration's reputation. This unprecedented move shattered the long-standing tradition of keeping federal statistical agencies independent from political influence, raising alarm bells across the nation. The stock market responded with its sharpest drop in months, as investors reacted with deep anxiety to the sudden politicization of economic data and the uncertainty it created for the future. For decades, the Bureau of Labor Statistics has been trusted to provide unbiased, accurate economic information. This act put that trust in serious jeopardy, casting doubt on the integrity of future reports. The sudden dismissal of a Senate-confirmed official for simply reporting unfavorable data set a troubling precedent, raising questions about the independence of all federal agencies. Now, the reliability of vital economic indicators is in question, threatening everything from Federal Reserve decisions to household financial planning and leaving families and businesses uncertain about the future. The firing of Dr. McEntarfer has ignited a fierce national debate about the line between political accountability and the dangerous politicization of essential government functions, with experts and citizens alike voicing concern. The events of that Friday marked a dramatic turning point in the public's trust in government data, leaving the nation to grapple with the consequences of this unprecedented political intervention. Dr. Erika McEntarfer, until her firing, was a widely respected, nonpartisan economist with a career dedicated to labor statistics. She was confirmed by the Senate in 2024 with overwhelming bipartisan support, chosen specifically for her expertise and impartiality. Her role as BLS commissioner was to oversee the rigorous, transparent process of collecting and reporting economic data, not to invent numbers. The BLS's fixed-term structure is designed to shield its leaders from political pressure, ensuring data integrity. McEntarfer's leadership was seen as a continuation of the agency's tradition of excellence. Her sudden dismissal was not due to misconduct, but because the data her agency produced was politically inconvenient. President Trump's labeling of her as a Biden political appointee misrepresented her Senate-confirmed, nonpartisan status. The message to public servants was clear. Even the most honest work can be punished if it clashes with political interests. Her firing sent a chilling warning to all career officials in government. The July 2025 jobs report was the spark, an unexpected jolt that sent shockwaves through Washington and the financial world alike. It showed only 73,000 new jobs, far below what economists and policymakers had predicted, and was accompanied by large downward revisions to previous months' numbers. These revisions erased 250,000 jobs from earlier reports, marking the weakest three-month hiring stretch since the pandemic's darkest days. For the Trump administration, the numbers directly contradicted their narrative of economic strength and recovery, raising uncomfortable questions. The jobs report is a key barometer for the nation's economic health, influencing everything from Federal Reserve policy decisions to the public's confidence in the future. The unusually large revisions, though technically a normal part of the process, fueled widespread concerns about the reliability and accuracy of the data being reported. Experts had already warned about declining survey response rates, which made precise measurement harder and increased the risk of error in official statistics. For President Trump, the report was seen not as a reflection of economic reality, but as a political attack orchestrated to undermine his administration. He accused Dr. McEntarfer, the official in charge of the report, of sabotage, ignoring the complex statistical nuances and the challenges faced by government data collectors. The administration's response quickly turned what should have been a technical issue into a full-blown political crisis, dominating headlines and cable news. The jobs report became a flashpoint in the battle over truth in government data, raising new questions about trust, transparency, and the politicization of statistics. President Trump's reaction was swift and combative. He publicly accused Dr. McEntarfer and the Bureau of Labor Statistics of intentionally rigging the numbers to damage his administration's reputation and undermine his leadership. The president's words were not just a critique, but a full-scale assault on the credibility of the nation's most trusted economic data. On Truth Social, Trump escalated his rhetoric, labeling Dr. McEntarfer a partisan actor and insisting the jobs data was fabricated. He went so far as to promise her removal, vowing to install someone who would produce honest numbers that aligned with his administration's narrative. He linked the jobs report to a supposed conspiracy, suggesting it was part of a broader effort to help his political opponents and sabotage his presidency. The implication was clear. The data itself was now a weapon in a political battle. This was not a technical dispute over statistical methods, but a direct and personal attack on the agency's integrity, an unprecedented move in modern American politics, raising alarm among career civil servants and outside observers alike. Trump's strategy was clear: discredit any negative data, cast doubt on the motives of public servants, and shift blame away from his own policies. By undermining trust in official statistics, he sought to control the narrative at all costs. Labor Secretary Lori Chavez DeRemer echoed the president's claims, voicing concerns over large revisions in the jobs numbers, but offering no concrete evidence of wrongdoing. Her statements reinforced the administration's aggressive stance. The administration's coordinated messaging left little doubt this was a deliberate and calculated policy choice, not a spontaneous reaction. Every statement and press release was carefully crafted to support the president's narrative. The firing of Dr. McEntarfer was meant to send a chilling warning throughout the government. Any data or analysis that contradicts the political narrative will not be tolerated, and those responsible will face consequences. This approach risks inflicting long-term damage on the credibility and independence of government institutions, eroding public trust in the very agencies meant to provide objective information. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, once regarded as a neutral scorekeeper for the nation's economy, was suddenly thrust into the center of a political storm, its future independence now in question. Not all Republicans supported the president's move. Senators Cynthia Lummis and Thom Tillis quickly voiced concern, emphasizing the importance of BLS independence. They warned that politicizing economic data could erode trust and harm the economy. Their statements highlighted a split within the GOP, with some prioritizing institutional norms over party loyalty. The senators' pushback signaled that the president's strategy carried real risks, even among allies. Their defense was not of Dr. McEntarfer personally, but of the principle of unbiased data. The controversy became a bipartisan warning about the dangers of undermining trusted institutions. Economists across the spectrum condemned the firing as reckless and dangerous. Jason Furman called it an attack on the foundation of evidence-based governance. Mark Zandi warned that undermining BLS credibility could destabilize markets and harm the economy. Experts stressed that BLS data is the gold standard, relied upon by businesses, the Fed, and policymakers. Politicizing statistics, they argued, creates uncertainty and opens the door to misinformation. Michael Matowitz noted that if no one trusts the numbers, even the administration loses the ability to prove its successes. The consensus, the president's move crosses a critical line, threatening the public good. For decades, administrations respected the independence of agencies like the BLS, even when the news was bad. This firing set a dangerous precedent, risking long-term damage for short-term political gain. The White House cited large data revisions as justification for the firing, but revisions are a normal part of the BLS process. Initial jobs reports are based on incomplete data and are routinely updated as more information comes in. Larger-than-average revisions in July reflected broader challenges, like declining survey response rates. These issues are systemic, not the fault of any one commissioner. Cost-cutting and lower response rates have made accurate measurement harder for years. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell had already raised concerns about data quality before this controversy. Firing the commissioner does nothing to address these root problems. Instead, it risks demoralizing staff and deterring top talent from public service. The real challenge is improving data quality, not punishing those who report inconvenient facts. The fallout from Dr. McEntarfer's firing extends far beyond the BLS. Public trust in official statistics is at risk. When the president calls data faked, doubt spreads quickly. Financial markets rely on credible data. After the firing, the S&P 500 dropped sharply, signaling investor anxiety. If trust in BLS numbers erodes, markets may become more volatile and investors may turn to less reliable sources. The timing was notable. On the same day, Fed Governor Adriana Kugler resigned, giving Trump more influence over the central bank. This suggests a broader strategy to assert political control over key economic institutions. The message dissent and inconvenient data will not be tolerated, chilling honest reporting across government. Fear of reprisal could lead to self-censorship, undermining sound decision-making at the highest levels. The politicization of data threatens both economic stability and democratic accountability. This controversy isn't just a political fight. It affects every American. Reliable government statistics shape everything from mortgage rates to Social Security adjustments and business decisions. When data is questioned, uncertainty spreads, slowing economic growth and job creation. The principle of independent, nonpartisan statistics is vital for democracy and accountability. Attacking the scorekeeper undermines the entire system. As Senator Mark Warner put it, firing the umpire doesn't change the score. The firing of Dr. McEntarfer forces a fundamental question: do we want facts determined by evidence or by political power? Preserving the integrity of our national statistics is an American imperative, not a partisan one. The trust we place in these numbers is fragile, and once lost, it's incredibly hard to restore.